Welcome, AfterBuzzers, to the Terror After Show. Tonight we're talking Abandoning Ships, Morphin's Misery, and Hickey's Massacre. And we have a brand new segment for you, so don't go anywhere.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Appropriate.
Hey.
So this is very appropriate for today's
Hands
after
will
show.
roll. Hands will roll.
So welcome, guys, to the Terror After Show. I'm Krista, and here with me today are my lovely hosts.
What's up, my beautiful people? Danny Royce here.
Hey, this is Cherry. What's up?
Yeah, so we have a lot to talk about today. We also have a new segment for you guys where we're calling it Most Terrifying Moments. Because, you know, terror, and there's a lot of those terrifying moments. So appropriately named.
It is.
Yeah,
Nice.
so we'll give that to you at the end of the show, so stick around for that. But yeah, so today's episode was, what was the title of today's episode? Most
Horrible
Horrible
for supper.
Horrible for Supper, which,
Makes
you know,
total
that
sense.
is very appropriately. It's episode 7, so we're nearing the end. So a lot happened. What were your guys' thoughts overall?
Man, this episode was crazy. But this show, in general, just keeps coming at you from all angles. Man, so my cannibalism theory, or my prediction, it happened. I said it from day one, and then finally, not from the people I thought, but the Eskimos, but it's okay. Yeah, but it's really a lot of layers getting on this show. It's keeping me like engaged. It's getting better after every week, and I can't wait till next week.
Yeah.
I was really fascinated by not just the killing of my dog, which totally annoyed me, upset me, but also just the silence, things that happened without any real sound. One of the things that really impacted me was when Hickey noticed silence and Dr. Gitking taking her away from eating. At first he was getting ready to freak out because she's eating our food.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I was like, why isn't she
It was
eating
a
our
quiet
food?
moment,
Right,
yeah. That would have went unnoticed, but I like that. Overall, no, it was really good. We finally got some predictions come to light, which was something.
Something.
But yeah, overall, I think I like now that they're off the ship and they're actually trekking to find it's a different experience. So I like where we're going with it.
Exactly.
But yeah, so we started out and we get that flashback with Cornelius Hickey, and we find out he's not who he says he is, which is, I mean, I don't know if that is a shocker because he's been kind of a little bit off this whole time, but so we see that it's in the real Hickey collects the papers, and then the man who shows up a month later is who we have now come to know as Hickey. So is that like shocking for you guys, or did you just? I mean, like, he's kind of off. So
yeah, I knew. The guy is just crazy, and at this point, he's just mad because everything that happened. But I guess it did shock me at first because I was like, I don't even think he's not even a seaman. Like, he's never been on the ship before in his life. So I was like, what in the world's going on? So I'm very interested to see his past, why he even got on the ship in the first place, why he went on the expedition. Because whatever he's coming back to must be worse than staying out there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, how about you?
I was shocked. I did not know Hickey wasn't Hickey. I knew Hickey was up to no good and he's a piece of work.
But you didn't know it
But
wasn't
I didn't
him.
know
Right.
that he's probably running away from something in England. And that's why he's like, don't really want to go back. Don't really want to go to our destination. I don't think he realized how desolate the area was. I think he thought they were going to go to the Bahamas. And he's like, I'm just going to hop off of the Bahamas. And I'll go native and stay. And all of a sudden he's like,
Yeah, I don't think he expected it at
Well, you know,
all.
I think that was, again, he's just crazy, but part of his planning to get like really like hypothermia and just to come back there, and I believe he's gonna have this whole story about how they abducted him and he was freezing and they almost killed him. They killed, the two Irving and other guy. I mean,
it's gonna be so elaborate.
Yeah, I just think he's that was all part of his plan.
He's like a pathological liar, so he's got it
crazy.
going in his head, and he's like, it's gonna be so good.
But he's giving us some good tea, though. Keep going,
yes,
Hickey. Keep going.
It's great story.
His lies are crazy. And anyone with a half a brain, namely, Gurley's like, that's not true.
I know.
But everyone else is like, I saw a bear, and that's why I did it. And everyone else is like, yeah, monstrous bears. And he's like, I know y'all are.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I'm gonna beat your ass.
Yeah, so, well, we'll get more into what he does later, but yeah, it's insane. So then, basically, it starts out after that little flashback. We have, they finally abandoned ship.
Yeah.
So, au revoir, ships. So that's, and we got the date, which was April 22nd, 1848, if I wrote down that right.
I thought it was very, I mean, this show puts in like little neat like nuances everywhere, but it was pretty nice how Dozier, Francis, when he said the ship is also a confessor, that he knows the ship knows everything about him, and I just thought that was pretty neat.
Which
like
is
that's
true.
that's where his life, like he's been there like more than he's been at home, so that's crazy how that happens.
That's kind of what I was going to ask. So you see the whole process of him like abandoning ship, and you can tell it's super difficult for him because as a captain of the Royal Navy, you don't abandon ship.
No,
unless,
go down
there's
with it.
no,
Go down.
So what do you think was going through his head, and like how did he handle leaving? Do you think it was like emotional, but
I think that whatever faults he has, namely that he's not warm and fuzzy, that he is somewhat abrupt, he truly puts his people's needs above his own, which means he left the ship to lead everyone as opposed to staying with his ship and going down with it, with his little that little like 4 or 5 people that they kept on. And it was obvious that he was feeling very much like, I wanted to be captain of the ship so that I could get the woman that I love. This isn't how I wanted it. And it's just a lot of regret that's going through his face.
I agree.
That's
it
true.
definitely you could see it in his eyes. It was the last thing he wanted to do, but it also shows what a good captain he would have made if he had. I mean, he's still making a great captain in light of things, but if they were like doing what they were supposed to be, setting sail, I think it would have shown even more. But how he puts everyone in the crew first, and I like that.
Yeah,
that we're
he's
seeing
an
that side of
awesome
him.
captain. I mean, and granted, like this is not what normal situation captains go through. So he's doing great for us.
Right?
And he's been saying from the get-go, we can't stay here. We need to move on.
He said that the first
He's been
episode.
trying to tell you guys.
And he's not petty like me because I'd be like I told you at the beginning, we should have left like 2 years ago. Like I told you.
Well, yeah, and if they did, that's another issue. So now that they're leaving so late in the game, first of all, the work of moving boats over land is brutal.
Yes.
So they're tugging it, and these guys are not in the best shape because they've been eating lead poisoning for feeding it into their bodies for 2 years now. Some of them are going crazy. Other ones have actual, like, scurvy is still an issue. So they're just, everyone's taking a toll, and it's a difficult process. But this is when we start to see how Morphin his signs of lead poisoning are getting really bad. And Collins is talking about the boys who died cooking in the fire, and he's, like, thinking about cannibalism. And when he said that part, and Goodsir just kind of comforted him, how was he not like, what? You're thinking of doing what? Like, what did you guys think of that part? I was like, how are you keeping it together right now? He just told you he wants to eat people.
Right. No, that was insane. I mean, first off, writers, was it a play on words, morphin and morphine? I mean, I just want to know.
Yeah.
Morphine. I mean, it was a good one on that one. But and then he said he smelled the meat. And he couldn't get that smell out of him. And that actually, I thought, foreshadowed very well the cannibalism we saw at the end of the episode. Because I was like, okay, I know something's going to happen.
That,
Someone's going to get eaten.
See, like, when you guys are saying that he was thinking about cannibalism, to me, it was more the horror of smelling the human meat as opposed to thinking, that smells good. I could really go with the barbecue sauce right now.
Oh, see, for me, I was like, he's like, I'm hungry.
Well, I didn't think it was like hunger necessary,
No, it was
but
just,
I think it was that smell was, he couldn't get out.
Exactly.
What I understand, the smell of human flesh isn't.
It's not appealing.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
And they were his friends, and I think
he can't
nowadays
stop
they
thinking about
don't know about mental. They didn't know mental health and everything. Right now, everybody would be like, "Oh yeah, you're losing your mind. You're going mentally ill. You're having a nervous breakdown."
Yeah.
Right.
To them, they're like, "Oh well, scurvy or it's whatever." I think he was the first one to articulate how it affected him, but I'm sure it affected quite a few of the other ship people, the captains, who I might add, are still living up good. I mean, they're having tea on bone china.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
I mean,
It's like the class still shows even
exactly,
off the ship.
it still shows. I mean, you don't get that image or the smell of burning people out of your head,
No.
So I mean, I'm sure everyone there that saw that is just damaged.
Oh yeah, and it's affecting those that are like having these effects of lead poisoning
Right.
and whatnot more than the others because it's
Just
doing all
emotionally
kinds of
taken-
things.
yeah.
Yeah. So we have that, and then obviously Good Sir is getting even more worried about this because he knows what's going on with the food, and he's really trying to get Kreuzer to get people out to find game so they
Right.
can eat something other than lead poisoning. And Kreuzer, I get why he won't budge yet, and he has to like think, and he finally does. But I also don't understand. You have Lady Silence with you, who obviously has some background
you.
in hunting
Thank
game
you.
in
High
this
five.
environment. So like, do you
I'm
guys
come
think
on.
it's weird that he hasn't approached her about it to ask? Because she's mighty
I don't
comfortable with them
think-
at the moment.
Women hunt like that.
No, but don't you think
I don't
she
think
saw
women-
might be able to
something or
observe
yeah?
it,
Right.
But there's, from what I've
She has more
seen,
knowledge than they do, I'd assume.
Exactly.
there's
Yeah.
certain areas where the game would be, and I think it's more seasonal. And I
Right.
think that what they have right now is food that they smoked
Yeah.
from when the migration period. Because I don't think there's really anything around
No.
Yeah.
at that time. So they should have started hunting back when he said we need to get off the ship. Right now, I don't think there's really any seals or any I don't know
game,
what
yeah.
food they
Yeah.
have there.
I mean,
Like,
Do you
they
think
were
it's
like
that's his
caribou,
reason
and I
for
was
not
like,
asking? But
caribou
obviously
isn't
there is.
There
Right.
at this, not
Yeah.
at this time period.
But
don't know.
but there's seal or something because at the end we'll get to it later.
They
the
had
people
meat,
they run
but
into
I
had
think
meat,
that was like
preserved.
I think it was preserved or smoked or something because I
Okay.
don't think it was like fresh because like there wasn't blood on his hand or anything that.
Yeah.
I think it was
Yeah.
like
I mean,
Like,
they
they've had
they
it
know
for a
how
bit.
to. I mean, they know how to preserve things and all
preserve
that.
it,
But
yeah.
and it's just as far. I mean, not necessarily just for eating, but also for survival as well. Like, Lady Silence has been in this environment
Yeah.
for how long? Probably born there, so it's like
She's
she
gotta
could
have
help
some kind of
something.
idea, yeah.
Exactly. I think they will start utilizing her more in the next coming episodes.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think so because they have no respect for indigenous people. And
Oh, they're
for
gonna.
women.
I think
Yeah,
they're gonna be
they're
desperate.
gonna have to, or else maybe Good Sir's gonna try
Good
to get
Sir
more
Yeah, I
out
think
of
Good
her.
Sir
But
would
the
try.
other ones wouldn't.
Won't.
Yeah.
And he'd have to say, "Oh, in my readings,
Yeah, I came up with this.
He wouldn't be able to say, "Well, Lady Silence told me." No,
No,
and I
yeah,
heard
of course
that
not.
from that
Yeah.
demon
Interesting.
woman.
Yeah.
Because in their minds, whatever she'd tell them, they would assume from how they would behave that she'd be sending them to their death or doing
Yeah.
something unpleasant.
Especially now that
as
Hickey is
opposed-
back.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true. Well,
And they know what they've done to her.
Yeah.
that's
know what
also
you-
And
a
their
good
people,
point.
and their
yes.
creature.
And their people.
Well, during all this, Kreuzer and a couple other people are in an advanced party, and then they find the advanced party. They find their camp and their boats and their
Yeah,
heads.
their heads.
And he tells the guys he's with, it's 4 of them. He says, who else knows? And they're like, as of now, just us 4. And he says, let's keep it that way. Do you guys agree? I get why he did it, but do you agree with it?
Well, yeah, I totally agree with his decision to keep it between them. But obviously, we saw that it didn't, and
That's
I knew
what-
it wasn't
yeah.
going to anyway. So it lasted for about 5 seconds. But yeah, I think that was a great decision, just to kind of get the situation under control before it gets out to everyone else.
They need some hope.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Exactly.
telling them that would take away what little hope. Because if they left a little while before
Yeah.
and they didn't make it, they're even worse into the winter months.
Right.
So I can't help but think that would make them even worse off. And it sort of is kicking off the little secretive rebellion.
That's
plotting and
my
scheming.
issue with it. I get why he did it, and you want to keep hope alive, but in that small of quarters, people are gonna. That news was
Oh, yeah.
bound to
Oh,
come
yeah.
out, and
Oh,
then I
definitely.
feel like it's worse that they found out and it was hidden from
Exactly,
them.
yeah.
So I'm like, but I guess there's no right way to address
Right.
a situation like that.
And if that one guy wasn't there, it wouldn't have gotten out. I
Yeah,
don't think,
Mr.
just because he's like this with Hickey. But
Yeah.
I mean, Francis just has the best the men's interest
yeah.
at heart. I mean, even when they left, he said, let them take their things. They'll drop them off once they can't carry them anymore.
Yeah.
So
But the sentiment of it is
Right.
what's important.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think at that time period, they wouldn't tell the service people anything anyway half the time.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
true.
really,
It wouldn't
whether
have been
he-
their
he would be
knowledge.
like, I'm not
yeah.
going to tell you anything. I'm the captain.
It's all your friends are dead, but other than
oh, well,
that,
don't worry about it.
you'll find out when they don't join us.
That's why I love this show. It's like it's a dated like
hierarchy,
like horror show,
Yeah.
and it's like you have to put also other aspects of everything there. So
I was
crazy.
reading online that they were very strict with the cast members.
Were they?
That they had written them to sound the way they did at that time period. So sometimes actors are allowed to take some sort of leeway, and they were like, you can't because we want you to sound the way people did in that time period.
That's awesome.
That's interesting. Good find. Yeah, well, that leads us to our poor Mr. Morphin, he's had a rough go of it, but they all wake up in the tents and they hear like moaning and screaming and all kinds of fun noises. And then we find out that he's like literally gone mad at this point.
Right.
So Good Sir, being the guy he is offering him all the, wine of cocoa, because that'll fix it. And just all these other methods, and Crozier's trying to like talk him down.
Like, what is that?
I know.
Get the hell out of here.
Because that's going to fix whatever's wrong with him
yeah.
right now. But yeah, so one of the surgeons ends up shooting him. Who shot him? Do we know?
It was the guy that told about the heads, I believe.
It is?
Right? Yeah,
Okay.
I can't remember his name. Can you remember his name?
No.
If you guys drop us his name.
Yeah, in the chat. You guys in the chat, if you remember his name, definitely.
Chime in.
Yeah, 'cause
please chime in. We love you and listening to your comments
Right.
and reading what you say every week. So definitely.
That guy's like Hickey's
to us.
right-hand man, though. Like,
Yeah, so why don't I know his name? You think I would have written it down. But anyways, he's the one that ends up shooting him.
Right.
And so this takes a huge toll on Good Sir. And he's like inconsolable in his tent. And then Lady Silence sneaks in there.
Silence?
Yeah. So what did
with the
you
silence,
guys
girl.
think about? But it was like she didn't even say anything.
No.
She just like comforted him like
Exactly.
a friend, and he was good.
Right.
What did you guys think of that moment?
I mean, I think he definitely saw it as a failure moment. And Good Sir, you are a mighty fine Good Sir.
He is.
Very
Like his name's so perfect.
Yeah, I know it fits you perfectly. But yeah, it was just a moment of failure, and everything that's ahead and all the things he knows that the other men don't at this moment. I think it just kind of fell on him because we never really saw him have an emotional part in this whole like show so far. So I think this just is when everything just fell on him, and then Lady Silence is the only person that kind of helped him back.
Yeah.
They have the closest relationship, I think.
They do.
On
They
that,
have
on
quite,
that
they have
whole
quite the
ship.
bond happening.
They have quite the bond, and she's sort of like a big sis to him.
Right.
Who knows? Maybe a love interest.
I know.
Hey.
I'm not sure
I'm waiting
where
for
it falls.
I'm
Yeah.
waiting.
What's going on. But if you want to have fun, learn, and grow in all areas of your life, for those who do, we got the podcast for you. Conversations with Maria Menounos. Podcast edition is hosted by our AfterBuzz TV founder and drops every Friday on iTunes. Conversations with Maria Menounos features celebrity and influencer interviews, along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of life. From health and wellness to career, relationships, finances, and more, let our Maria be the big sis you've always wanted. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos for free. Be sure to rate and comment, and when you do, let Maria know it was us sent you there.
Yes.
The terror.
The terror.
Conversations with Maria Menounos podcast edition. Check it out, subscribe, and rate.
Rate it up, guys.
It's a great podcast, guys, and like she said, it's free, so watch
Why
it,
not?
listen to it.
Why
There's
not?
no reason not to, in your car, on your way to work, at the gym. Definitely check it out.
Right.
It's good.
It's really good.
Really great. So yeah, but just to like wrap up on Lady Silence, do we know why she's still tagging along? Like she's not being
She
forced
was
at this
wounded.
point.
And I'm not sure why she wasn't in her own little family group. It was
Yeah.
just her and her father. Maybe they were ostracized
Yeah.
from the rest of them. Or maybe they were lost. Or maybe they're just more migratory.
Like, do you think she's still with them because of Good Sir at this point?
I think
believe
it's
so.
because of
Yeah,
good
that's
stuff.
what I'm
I really
thinking.
believe so.
And I think she's going to jump ship once it gets really ugly.
Yeah.
She'll be like,
She like
you don't
knows
really
she's
think-
safe, so
Yeah.
that's why she's comfortable there. Because
Right.
her and Toonbach have this,
Well, we didn't see Toonbach this episode.
He's been staying at base. That's
Right.
his little battle royale.
Right.
He's not
But
that-
she offed her tongue, so she's taken shaman. But
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what other other things that entails, what other fun stuff. Yeah, but definitely she's still around because Mr. Good Sir. You don't think she's going to assist in any way, shape, or form? You think she's going to bounce?
Help Good Sir.
She's gonna be.
And I think she'll take him with her and she'll be like, peace out.
As soon as Tumbad comes around, she'll be like, that's my cue.
She'll be like,
Like,
and they'll just bounce.
Like, I'm rolling with Toon.
Just rides him out.
Ride or die.
And that I could see that.
Literally. Literally.
Ride with me or die. But yeah, that's really interesting, the relationship they've had and the effort he's put forth to learn her language and to be respectful. For a man of that time period, he was very, very open-minded.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I have to say,
Mama's
if he
boy.
was here now, I would totally be like, yes, I would go out with you on Friday. Thank you.
Mr. Good Sir was a mama's
asking.
boy, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
a
He's a good
mama's
guy.
boy.
You know, ladies.
I like nice guys, yeah.
He's like the one emotional man still left on this show.
Right.
He's inquisitive, he's thoughtful.
And that's why Lady
He-
Silence is taken
Yes.
to him. She's like,
taken to him.
It's like, oh, okay.
And he's been very forceful also to say over and over again to the powers that be, we cannot eat the tin food.
Yeah.
It's bad. When he got shut down the first time, he still kept coming for the captain, even though the captain was resistant and was like, I don't know, it's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
He just kept pushing. So you have to commend him for that because he's not an officer. And for someone at his level to keep pushing forward showed how much he cared and how concerned he was.
Agreed. Also, so after all of this happens, we get a little happy moment where our friend Thomas Jobson gets promoted to a
Yay,
lieutenant,
congrats,
a third
Jobson.
lieutenant. Yeah. But it's a kind of a touchy moment because he's the last person to realize it, even as they're passing around the paper, and he's just sitting there, and everyone's like
Right.
coming to the realization, and he's just like, "What's going on?"
Right.
And then when he finally is like congratulated, he's like, "Oh my goodness!" So, yeah, what did you guys find it like especially touching
do you
during
think?
the circumstances?
It was definitely a reward because he was telling the captain, Hickey is up to no good. For me, I don't understand why anyone's watching Hickey. Once you tell me he's trying to rebel, it's like, dude, this is ship rule. And ship rule, when you do that.
Yeah, I'd have him locked up somewhere.
Right.
Oh, no, you hang them for that.
That
That's a
would
definite.
be even better.
Right. Court martial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Court martial.
No, that wasn't court martial. They'd, I can't remember what it's called, but they would literally hang you or just toss you off the ship.
Oh, if you're just being
If you
afraid.
tried to, like, overthrow
Toss 'em
the
off.
captain, yeah. It's
Sure.
like, they wouldn't even, it's like,
We
Captain
Well,
wouldn't-
they should do that. Throw him in
throw
the
him
hole
down
in
the
the
hole.
ice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Sacrifice him to Tubuck. Don't eat us, Tubuck. Take Hickey.
Hickey's crazy self would get himself. He'd eat who knows what he'd do. That
Well, to chime off of that though, like when he came to that soldier, that unnamed soldier that we can't forget.
Yeah.
Can't remember your
anyone
name.
in chat remember
Anyway,
that? Yeah.
when he
No.
approached Francis with those names and who should be armed, he's like, the reason it's sound, but some of those names aren't. And I was like, he already knows. It's like, why
Yeah.
are you telling me to give Hickey a gun and arm him? Like, what is it?
No.
But that moment was it was nice. It was really nice
And it
giving
was
him
earned.
something.
It was definitely
earned.
deserved.
Right. I didn't really see it coming for Jobson. But at this same
Yeah.
time, I would be kind of like salty a little bit because I'm like, what does this title really mean right now? Because
Yeah.
we're
You
all
can
like,
see he's super happy, but he's like, I'm probably gonna die.
yeah. I'm like, what is?
Is anyone
mean-
back home gonna know?
Right. That's what I'm
Like, is
thinking.
my girl back home gonna know I got promoted?
Exactly. Let me write a letter real quick, maybe.
How am I gonna tell mom?
You'll find it a couple hundred years later.
Right.
Yeah, that part is bittersweet.
That's just
It's
that
very
part.
sad,
Yeah.
yeah.
But other than that, it was great.
True. So, well, after all that, we finally, Captain Kreuzer gets the search parties out to just see if he sends one east and south, I think, to
Yeah.
look for food. And, of course, Hickey's in the parties, because why wouldn't he be? And that's
Right.
and then he ends up with Lieutenant John Irving and another guy, and we don't remember his name. I don't think so.
Some people just have bad luck.
Yeah.
John Irving, yeah.
Yeah, but they happen upon a group of Inuits, and Irving he goes to talk to them and has the other two stand back. And they're, like, really friendly. I mean, there's obviously a language barrier, but they have, they're talking. He shares food because they got that much down. He gives them a telescope. It's, their little moment.
Right.
But do you also feel like that? I feel like they kind of knew they were in danger too. Like do you remember the Inuit with the mask on?
Yeah.
He kind of looked like I feel like he sensed something bad was happening. He just kind of stood back and he was like straight faced.
Right.
But he was like, they were super helpful, but I think they were also like, okay, what's happening? Because we like have this language barrier, and I don't know. What did you think of that whole interaction?
Wait, now did they tell John Irving that the others left? Did they grab his attention, or did he look back and see that himself?
No, he just looked back. I think he was trying to decide what to do.
Okay.
And the whole time they had been, you could see them in the distance. They
Yeah,
were
and
like
then they just like disappeared.
Yeah. And then he got worried, and he's like, "Stay right there."
Yeah, I thought that whole thing was like it was like watching the settlers like land in America again. Like they came and I thought they really just kind of opened armed. We approached them with open arms, like, here's your food and all that. And I think also they like you said, they thought something was kind of
there was just a weird sense to them.
Yeah, it was kind of like out of place. And they're very spiritual, people. So I mean, the spirits that they probably didn't get good vibes from, for sure.
Well, and how often do you think they have random
guys coming up? Exactly.
Yeah.
White people coming up. I mean,
right. That's what I'm saying. It was just like.
And they know who they are. I mean, they know
of course.
The English people. They
so
probably
maybe,
don't super like them.
And I'm like,
in a sense, maybe they were too relaxed for that.
That's what I was saying. A little bit.
For something like that.
I mean, for natives, they would be like, I know something like this happened before.
Yeah.
The natives didn't find, they didn't end up too great. But yeah, I don't know. They were a little relaxed.
There's something off about it, because it was either they're too relaxed, because this is something you don't come upon every single day.
Right.
Unless they already came across the headless men and they're like, oh, here's the next. There's just something, or they had sensed danger and they were like, give him food, he's going to die soon. They know what's coming.
It was just one person, so they wouldn't feel very threatened.
Yeah.
And
it was just two guys in the back.
It was like a couple of men. It was just one guy and just two other. They did see that he had a gun, but he wasn't behaving aggressively.
He set it down.
And they weren't really heading in that direction anyway. They were just like, well, hey, well, here you go. They were just going to keep on walking in the direction they were going in, which was sort of parallel. But I'm sure if they see other villagers, there's a bunch of random English people out there asking for food, begging.
I don't know. They were like this, John.
I know. I was even surprised that he so easily was like, food? Yeah, I got you.
Food? We're like, okay. All right.
Like, I got plenty.
I thought that was a body on the sled, though. Wrapped in there. I thought that was a body.
You were so funny. Y'all were just assuming. Everybody's like eating food.
I'm telling you, things are going to get crazy.
Yeah, well.
For the ship people, the Inuits are like, yeah, we're in our Eskimo boots and coats. We're fine. We have our super fashionable sunglasses.
They look warm.
We got
they look toasty.
They look toasty. They were looking at him like, where's your coat, dude?
That gun is not going to keep you warm.
That's not helping nothing.
No.
We need to go. They were like, we're bouncing, but
I know. Well, as we see, he asked them to stay. Don't know if they do or not.
No, they did.
Well, they were like, what?
They took that till
they were like, we got places to go.
Right.
So we gave you some food. And we're leaving.
Yeah, so Hickey's sensing danger, or not Hickey. Hickey's causing the danger.
He's always causing
Irene
danger.
is definitely like, where'd those two guys go? Where'd my men go? So he's jogging up the hill, and he comes upon Hickey. Oh, good old Hickey. Just like on all fours, like a rabid dog.
Right.
Just going into what I wish I knew his name, but the other
other guy.
The other guy.
The other one.
Yeah. No, just straight up. So he goes, and first of all, I'm like, Hickey, you should know something, or Irene, you should know something's up. Don't get that close.
I was gonna say, don't get that close.
Yeah, don't get that
close. I already
close.
knew something was up.
He went right up to him and was like, let me pull you. Can't you sense that whatever's happening there is either a rape or like you don't
thought they were fighting. I mean, but really,
I could tell that he was.
There's something going on.
There was just something.
There's something weird.
Yeah,
but
it's
like
in the moment.
Violent to any of the other ship people, to
so
the
you
woman.
Probably are just like, is he okay?
Yeah. It's like, is he having a heart
attack? I would have just kept calling him from a distance. But
you think so?
I'd be like, over here.
But I'm like, when he started stabbing, I was like, oh my God, stop!
And it was so fast.
20 times. I'm like, what? Okay, he's dead.
At first, I didn't realize he was stabbing him.
He didn't even have time to react.
He didn't even say anything.
I was like,
Right.
what?
I was like, what is he doing?
Like a little Energizer bunny. I was like, what?
Yeah, I was like, no.
That's why the way he acted, I don't think it's the first time he's killed before.
It's
No,
not.
it
And
can't
I don't think it's the lead poisoning either. I think
No,
he's a
I was
violent
going to ask
criminal.
that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do you think it has anything to do with the lead poisoning, or do you think it's fun? He's a crazed man
And then-
who's
He
done
can't
this
go
before.
back to England.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think he wants
I-
to go back to
He's a
England.
Yes,
criminal.
I
I think
agree.
he's a criminal who killed the other young man. I don't know. I don't know.
I agree. I mean, when the last flashback we saw, and you can just see it in his face. He was just like,
I
good
got
sir.
away with it.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you can just see it in his face.
It's like, no.
Like, what do you think he's going to do? How's he going to get away? He's just going to go back and the story's going to fool a couple
he
people.
already said in the
Yeah.
preview,
Yeah.
we can't trust the Inuits,
Yeah.
the natives.
Yeah.
They're going to try and kill us and eat all our food. And it's like, dude, you haven't got any damn food. So that's not going to happen.
And what you do have is full of lead poisonous. So nobody. But yeah, I think he's definitely just gonna go back. He's gonna turn some heads. He's
people.
gonna turn some more people, cause some
You
more
think
drama.
Crozier is going to catch on to it a little bit? At least sense
Crozier
something?
doesn't trust him.
I think he is. I think he's gonna
Yeah.
catch on to it. Yeah,
But
he's smart.
he doesn't want to cause any more dissension because the last time he whipped the holy hell out of someone,
Yes.
it caused some issues.
Yeah. Yes.
But that's when you make people disappear in the middle of the night. Oh no, Tupac
Right.
ate him.
Right.
Oh, that's
Oh.
terrible. Poor Hickey. Poor Hickey.
Right.
So in general, you guys weren't surprised at all that he turned.
Hickey's
in.
no good. I
No.
don't like him. For him killing the dog, he should be
Yeah.
beaten and beaten
That
and
made me more
beaten.
upset
That
than.
Made me so
Yeah.
mad.
He
And it
was
was so short-sighted and stupid because the dog barking would at least warn you that Tupac was coming.
Which
and he's
the
like,
guy said.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
don't care. I was like, really? You don't?
I
I don't
mean,
know what voodoo you think you have, but it's not gonna work.
let one less mouth to feed, I guess.
Well, that is his
Yeah.
That's what
theory.
his theory was,
Mm-hmm.
and some more mouths to feed. Yeah, and then that dead monkey that good sir keeps hogging
Looking
around.
at.
I'm just like, I know it's for medicine and testing
Yes.
purposes, but
He's examining
let
it.
the monkey rest in peace.
Oh my God. The poor thing hasn't even started atrophying or
I know,
or getting
it's
like
like-
firm or anything. It's still loose. I'm like, how much time has passed?
Right.
Not much.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Does not take long for these people to go crazy on the ship.
Nope.
Well, yeah. I mean, is there anything before we get into our new segment? Anything else you guys wanted to discuss?
Nothing here. Let's get to that new segment.
No.
All right. So, as I mentioned earlier, we have a new segment that we're going to do every week during the new episode, starting now on the 7th.
Now.
But it's our most terrifying moment. So, who wants to start? Let's go.
Go ahead, Terry.
Me.
Yeah.
My most terrifying moment was when it was revealed that they killed the dog. I was hoping the dog, I really was
Respect.
hoping the dog would like run off and escape and be living and breeding with wolves. And instead they killed my dog. And I'm a dog person, so that was terrifying to me.
You know what? Agreed. That was a sad.
That was pretty
terrifying
terrifying.
moment. What about you?
My most terrifying, of this episode, I would say, is when Hickey killed Irving. Just because it was
Brutal.
it was really brutal, and it was a human interaction that we have yet to see in this show. So this really just shows how like crazy he is and how evil this direction is gonna head. So that was pretty horrifying.
I agree. I think mine is gonna be when Crozier and them come across the heads. Just because I feel like his I mean, that's how you have to react because you're captain and you got to keep.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm like that for me. I would have been like, oh, that's our fate.
Yeah, yeah.
I think,
that would
oh
definitely
no,
be.
that's
yeah.
what's coming. I would have. It was. That's
What do you do when you see some
ominous.
heads?
I don't know. It's just a
I
bunch of
know.
heads
Like
in
just
the
chilling
frozen
there.
heads in the snow.
Right.
They're frozen. I mean, if they
Like,
weren't so
heads they
frozen, I'd
know.
want to look and see exactly if they died from lead poisoning,
Yeah.
if they died from just...
Right.
Because it doesn't look like they
Like they
died
didn't
from
even
freezing
discuss how it
overnight.
happened.
No.
Was my issue. I was
Like,
like,
was
you're
the
not gonna
creature
look
it?
at it.
The creature
What
did
would they
it.
be able
Like
to do, though?
I don't know.
the-
No,
Literally
just
frozen
no.
in ice, so they can't, like, pick them out. Or
no, they couldn't. I mean,
So...
they were well preserved.
Well, that's gotta keep you up at
Captain.
night, like thinking
He
about
was
that.
like, you know what?
It seemed like they
nothing I
kind of
can
brushed
do.
that off a little bit, like too much.
Like he's going to bed tonight. Like, oh god, what happened?
There's even more dead people, surrounded by dead people.
It's true at this point, I guess.
It's
He's
like,
like,
uh,
go
I
ahead.
know.
He
What
has-
else is new?
He's focused on the people who are alive.
Yeah.
Right,
And once you're
exactly.
dead, he's like, oh, well, let me pour a little for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Little for my homie.
That's all you
Keep
can
going.
do.
Yeah.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Well, yeah.
Well, he can't pour any because he's an alcoholic.
That's true. You cannot pour one out. Well, you can. You just
You
can't
drink
drink
one.
it. You can't drink it
Trying to
out.
pour it out and drink it at the same time.
But yeah, let us guys know your most terrifying moments in the comments,
Yes.
and make sure if you watch and you like to give us a thumbs up and subscribe and all that good stuff. We love hearing from you, and we definitely read the comments, so do that. And is there anybody in there you want to shout out? Okay. I see.
They're
comments.
lurking.
They're
watching.
lurking.
They're lurking.
No one has names like
Say
we
hi,
do.
everybody.
Well,
We
thank
totally
you
wanna
guys
hear
for
from you.
watching.
Thank
yes.
you.
Always happy that
yeah.
you're watching.
And news and gossip, you didn't have any for this week? Anything good?
I don't think we have the video from it, but I had seen that the set designer said it was very difficult because the ships are so large that they had to constantly rebuild it. And part of the reason that they were able to sign up so many people to come onto the ship when they were in England was because a laborer was paid 3 times more to join than they would make on land, and that included advance pay.
Oh my goodness.
So for like the working class people, that would be like a big boatload of money.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, of course.
Make a life-changing experience.
That's interesting. Yeah, a bit.
What people will do for money is always very sad when you're hungry and desperate.
Yes. Well, we also have some exciting news. Next week we have some guests.
Yay.
Yeah. You want to introduce who we're going to have in next week?
Who we're gonna have.
We
Get the
are
fans
having
excited?
the showrunners. So I'm super excited about that because the showrunners are coming, and it is going to be Miss Sue and the other showrunner.
Dave.
And his name is...
First name's Dave.
His first name is Dave, and his last name is...
I think it's Kranjanek or yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of
Yeah.
to
But
pronounce
it's
cringe in it.
exciting. So
We'll be very excited
yes.
for them to come on
Dave
and
and
talk
So
about
will
the
be
show.
here, and one Skyping in. I think So Skyping
From England.
So
in.
Skyping in from
England.
England.
And then Dave will
Merry
be
old
here in
England.
studio with us. So make sure you
Nice.
guys tune in, and we're gonna ask him some questions. He's gonna talk with us about the episode. So that's gonna be really fun, and we hope you guys join.
Yes, make sure you tweet us questions all week.
Yeah,
All week, so
definitely
we
do
can
Our
ask.
that.
Twitter accounts.
For sure.
Leave them on
And-
the videos.
yes.
We'll check them out. Do it. Do it,
We
do it,
definitely
do
want to hear what
Do
you guys
it.
think.
Yeah.
Woof woof.
Well, with that,
Good
let's go
dog.
into predictions for next week.
Oh.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right. I'll go to you first, Danny.
Predictions. No. All right, my predictions. Here we go. Let's see. All right, so Hickey is going to go back. It's going to stir some trouble. It's going to make everyone hate the natives. So we have another conflict there. I believe Tumbak is going to show its ugly face again
He's gonna
next episode. He's going to come knocking. And I think just people are just going to start dropping, whether it's from illness, being murdered, or dying, and just this conflict is going to rise. And this little voyage that they're going on, I think it's going to turn men against men. Like Hickey's going to get his group, and I think it's going to get even bigger
yeah.
because now he has a lot more
A little war.
fire. He has a lot more firepower and a lot more stories to tell. So I think he's going to definitely turn some heads.
I agree with you. I think Hickey is going to be plotting and scheming to tell his lies, to incite riots against the Inuit people.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to try and incite something against Lady Silence, which is going to bring her closer with Mr. Good Sir. With Mr. Good
He
Sir.
is
Good
kind.
kind. Good kind.
Good kind.
The kind bar in a way.
Good kind of guy. And then I think the captain is going to underestimate the trouble that Hickey is able to cause.
Yes.
And
I
it's
believe.
going to be to his detriment.
Okay. So I think some more men are going to start acting crazy. Not to the extent, maybe to the extent of Hickey, but I think the lead poisoning is going to become a huge
Yes.
issue. And maybe we see like some more, someone nibbles on someone's arm in the middle of the night.
I'm
Like,
telling you.
some little forms of cannibalism is going to come out, and I think
Yes.
it's going to, I don't know if it's going to be as extreme as Hickey with the mass murder first, but maybe they start snacking on the dead bodies.
Telling you.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
the lead poisoning is going to be a huge issue, and it's going to really start showing next week. But yeah, so let's let us know your predictions, guys. But that's all we have for today. So thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm Krista, and you can find me at Instagram and Twitter at Krista Flentje.
Hey, I'm Danny Royce. You can find me at I am Danny Royce on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
I'm Cherry, and you can find me at Cherry_LA on Twitter and Instagram, and on my other panels.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.